Welcome. This is Dr. Shannon Bowen, University of South Carolina. I wanted to discuss today the ethics of white hat hacking and penetration testing. This is an ethical question for the students in my cybersecurity leadership and ethics class. We're using the Manjinkian book, but you don't need that to get a lot from this video. I think that Manjinkian has wonderful details on cybersecurity ethics, but as a deontologist, I would like to add a more powerful analysis that you can use, because I realize most of my students are involved in the cybersecurity field, and I think you need a stronger deontological analysis than what's offered in our book, specifically pages 62 and 63. But across many fields, people think that deontology cannot be used to analyze, understand, or represent white hat hacking or penetration testing. That's not the case. Once you understand the theory at more of a graduate level, as I'll explain to you quickly in this short video. In penetration testing, particularly, the example used in the book, an employee might get an email asking them to click on a link, verify their password and other information as a way to gain access, therefore penetrating the system by a bad player, or in this case, penetration testing would be by a person hired to test the security of the system for the firm. And so this person doesn't have bad intention in testing the system. This person is hired by the organization to make sure that your systems are as strong as possible, both within their architecture and within their users, making sure that your employees know what a phishing attempt might be. And that means that you're going to have to prepare your employees. So many philosophers have studied questions like this using deontology and talked about what's called a deciding factor. That's not mentioned in our textbook, so that's what I wanted to explain to you here. A deciding factor is the overarching moral principle or the moral argument in the Kantian deontological sense that's stronger than other moral arguments. And so we can look at penetration testing in a deontological sense and come up with an ethical justification, and here's how. When we talk about a universal moral duty, would all forms of the categorical imperatives say that this is okay? In other words, in every instance where we're applying the categorical imperative in a company to test our own systems, would it be ethically advisable and permissible to do so? And the answer would be yes, if you want a strong and impenetrable company, because you want to protect your data, whether it's classified data or whether it's credit card data from a small business like a bakery. You want to protect your employees' information as well. Your systems contain a lot of valuable data that you should, as any size entity, work to protect. So we can say that Form 1 of the categorical imperative would justify the use of penetration testing, because every business or every organization and entity would want its data to be safe regardless of that enterprise. And on the receiving end, we can also say we would want our data to be safe, used by the companies that we do business with. Form 2 of the categorical imperative is where people oftentimes encounter a problem because they say penetration testing requires deceiving people, treating them as instruments or a means to an end rather than an end in themselves. However, consider the deciding factor. Do you want your employees to retain their jobs in a safe way? Do you want them to feel that the system is secure? Keeping in mind that if an employee did something that was not a part of penetration testing, but did fall to a phishing scam, they could cost the organization and its customers hundreds, if not thousands or millions of dollars. They could cost their own safety. They could be imprisoned falsely. They could have their own security loss. They could be wrongly fired from the organization. So there are a lot of negative outcomes that can come to the employee if you don't make sure your system is safe. So the deciding factor here is dignity and respect for maintaining the safety and security of your employees within the system and the architecture that they are working within. So that means you can do penetration testing. You would have to disclose to the employees, of course, that you're going to be testing your systems from time to time, that security in the online and the architecture world of your whole system is very important, and you will test it. And you also can't exploit each individual employee. You can't call them out if someone did fall for a penetration test. You would want to anonymize the data, not punish the employees. These are honest mistakes that reveal valuable information about the weak points of your system. But by testing in this way, you've been honest and disclosed that you're doing the testing, and you're maintaining the dignity and respect of your employees because you're trying to protect them from cybercrime in a larger online world that can be exceedingly dangerous. And then finally, the third form, moral intention, is easy to pass given these prior considerations. You're doing penetration testing, hopefully for the reason of keeping your firm, your business, your accounts safe, keeping your employees safe, keeping everything legal and above board, making sure that there are no cyber criminals who already have access, and that it's hard to gain unauthorized access. And so using these three forms of the categorical imperative, you see we can have a deontological analysis that does allow ethical penetration testing, ethical white hat hacking in the cyber environment, and it allows you to maintain system security in an ethical way, respecting your employees and making sure that they feel safe in that environment, acting with universal duty as well as intention. I hope this helps, and thank you for your time.